What's up, y'all? It is technically Crystal's Sci-Fi Saturday because it is about 3:40 in the morning when I record this. I am hoping the audio quality is at least acceptable because I don't have my super awesome microphone hooked up, but I am in bed, as you can see, super comfy, like the night owl I am, and I have begun to talk to myself, as I am prone to do when I have things on my mind. And this is a thing that I've had on my mind for a while. So I feel like I just need to share it. And so that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be a real talk Crystal Sci-Fi Saturday. And it definitely ties into, I guess, my Crystal Sci-Fi Saturday theme because what I want to share with you guys today and what I want to talk about is something that will tie in a little bit into Sonarchy Book 3, some of these concepts and how we choose to spend our time and how the importance that we place on that. So let me give you some background on this. Last October, I got really, really ill, and I did not know what was wrong with me. It was a complete mental and physical, just my brain and my body was like, no, we're done. Something is wrong. There are things, and we're just done. If you've never had anxiety before and then you suddenly have an anxiety attack, it is the worst thing ever. Oh my gosh. And then on top of that, I had a whole bunch of physical stuff. It was just whatever. It was not fun. So when you are sick physically and you don't know what's wrong with you, and this is just my experience, your world shrinks. Time, the ticking of that clock, all of a sudden you can hear it. And when you are, like me, ambitious as fuck, and there are so many things you have left to do, things shrink even more. And, I'm a Scorpio, and I tend to be a little bit dramatic. I'm like, I am. So you start thinking so many things. So many things. And then you have anxiety on top of that. So all kind of worry sets in. I'm still at the point where I have a hard time saying see you tomorrow. Because you never know. And I know that sounds like hella morbid, but that's just kind of, don't worry. I'm working it out of therapy. That's why I go to therapy. We working on it. It's cool, but it's like my thing. Because I'm still not quite 100%, so you just never, I'm much better with it now than I was like a year ago. So we're October. So yeah, a year ago, but yeah. So I have that little, so you get this perspective on things. And I've kind of not taken for granted, but been very selfish almost with how I spent my time and how I choose to spend my time and how I choose to live my life and all those kinds of things. And the reason it's kind of like sitting with me right now isn't so much for any like morbid reason or anything like that. It's because there's a lot of talk going on right now in this insane culture change shift mess that America is going through, and I promise I'm not going to get political. I swear I'm not. But we are, let's put it like this. And I've said this before. Time is short, fam. And I think it takes a perspective shift before you stop. What's the word I'm looking for? Before you stop. God, taking advantage of it just isn't the right word, though. And the word I want to escape me, probably because it's fucking almost 4 a.m. There is this critique especially towards millennials, that they're lazy and they don't want to work hard. And while we all know that when we were younger and when we are younger, we all have those moments of laziness. But I see it as something different. And I'm curious as to why we feel that life has to be this. And I don't want to use the term kind of slaving away, but like that. Why it has to be this struggle and this hustle and this, if you just put in that 60, 80 hours of work or get both those jobs or, just, you've heard it, just do all this work and do that suffering because that's how it is. You just got to do what you got to do. And then maybe, just maybe, when you're 60 or 70 and you've only got like maybe 10 years left before your body starts really giving out, then maybe you can enjoy some leisure time, And as I sit here and I listen to the ticking of that clock, I wonder why we have this, we accept that. And look, if your first response to that is, well, that's just how it is, I would say to you, but we could make it different. But we could make it different. If you could, or if you are one of those people who is to the grind, and you could stop and instead 100% grind for something that you loved, whether it be time with the family or raising a family or a creative business or just a business or just that thing that we don't do because there's this other thing that we have to do. If you could, if that's the thing that you could spend 40 hours a week with, and you could give that to somebody else, why don't we? Why don't we? And if the only answer is, it's not practical, that's not the way it is, why don't we make it that way? And when conversations start about making it that way, why is the critique you're just looking for a handout? Or that will never work? Shouldn't we stop getting in the way of people trying to change things? Especially things that have to do with making the time that we have on earth more meaningful, more valuable. And we don't get to judge that, fam. We don't get to judge how people choose to spend it or want to spend it. I mean, shouldn't we just want everyone to just have that great life? I mean, is the handout such a bad thing? Is it? That clock's still ticking. Time's really short. It really, really is. Yeah, it's really, really short. We don't get a lot of it. And I read a lot of woo-woo shit that it's all about that fucking journey. And I'm a destination type of girl. It's all about that fucking journey. And I'm like, okay, if it's about this journey, and I get it, because, storyteller, then I don't want mine to be a stress-ridden, it's what I had to do. And I don't know why anybody else would. I don't. Especially if for you it was. Why wouldn't you want to give someone else something better. Anyway, that's what's on my brain at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was in the process of writing. And so that whole thing is something that I will, and that will be kind of built into a little bit of world building on Daquin and how they spend their time and how they have built up their society to kind of support that and ideas like that. And it's require a little bit more research. There are some books I want to read, like shout out to BJ Mendelsohn, who had a really great book list on some really, really good stuff. And like there's a book out called Utopia for Realists and a couple of other ones that I kind of want to get my hands on and check out the vision. But just in general, fam, this is just your reminder that there are a couple things that I know for certain, and there are not a lot of things that I know for certain, but how we spend our time, how we choose to spend it. The most important relationship you ever have is with yourself. It's not selfish. It's not arrogant. It's just real talk. And damn. Anyway, that is what I am using on this evening as I world build, and I think that is enough of my rambling there. You may completely disagree with me. That is 100% fine. No worries. I certainly don't expect. I don't expect. Change is hard. Change is hard. Change is scary, and I get it. I do, to a point. But man, perspective changes, y'all. The things that happen in your life that shift your perspective are pretty fucking incredible. They are pretty fucking incredible. All right, that's it. So, hey, let's make this interactive. You can, instead of a debate on whether you disagree or agree, that's always welcome as well, respectfully so, of course, sound off if there's how your belief systems factor into your writing, or if there was a book you read that really resonated with you and you were like, damn, why can't our world be more like that? I love that shit. Fam. I love it when you read that shit or you're just fucking inspired by someone and you're like, You know what I'm saying? All right, that's it. I'm done. I should go to sleep. It's like 4 a.m. is about my bedtime. That's about right. It's almost 4 o'clock. All right, I'm going to do that. Good night, fam. Thanks for listening. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend. Don't forget to use the hashtag Crystal Sci-Fi Saturday. Y'all be forgetting to use the hashtag, and then it's hard for people to like just put in the hashtag and see the brilliant fucking thing that you have to say. So really this benefits you. So use the hashtag. All right, later.